Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with SBR contributor Jordan Sharp, and today we're going to be looking at how those odds have been acting up for that game between the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs. How you doing today, Jordan?
I'm doing good, Dax. Thanks, man.
All right, my man. So it's about damn time that Ryan finally decided to sit Geno Smith and start Michael Vick, which should be a slight improvement for the 1-7 team, who's 28th offensively and 6th defensively overall. Now, they're going to be going up against the 4-3 Chiefs, who are 20th best offense in the league and the 3rd best defense overall in the league as well. Now, as for the odds, bookies opened this one at -11, but BetOnline opened this one at -7.5. Now, since then, that line moved to -9.5 and -10, as some books have it right now, with the exception of 5 Dimes, which currently have them at -10.5. Now, I think Vick adds a bit more value to this team, and I think that 9 is where we could actually see this game close out, as I believe that the public could actually sway their opinion, starting to back the Jets a bit more for this one. But what do you think, Jordan?
You know, this game, I actually talked about it a little bit in my teaser picks today, but this line is really sharp where it's at, I think, and it's just I'm not seeing a whole lot of value on either side of it. But that being said, that's why I think it's probably done moving. I think 9.5 is where you're going to see this line settle out. And if that's the case, with the unknown of Vick, which honestly I kind of disagree with you. I don't know how much more of an improvement Vick's going to be over Geno Smith. He might be a slight improvement, but I don't think anybody should be expecting the world from him at all, especially because of the fact that he's still dealing with the same problem that Geno Smith was dealing with, that he has no really skill players except for really Chris Ivory that's been playing well for them. So, and on the other side, the Chiefs is I want to trust them and I want to see them do well, but obviously the Jets have a very good run defense, and that's basically the Kansas City Chiefs offense. So, it's just this game, even though it's a short week, I just really can't find myself liking either side of this game. Even though there's a little bit of a shorter card this week, I just don't think that this is a game that anybody should really get overly excited about, just because that line at 9.5 is pretty sharp. And even though it does seem like there are more people on the Chiefs on that obviously, I think it's probably more so because the line opened up a little bit lower and people have been betting up that line, that we've seen more money come in on the Chiefs than the Jets here, because it's just with Vick, it's too much unknown. I just think it's probably a game you just need to avoid altogether.
No, I agree that it's a game that we should avoid, just because that factor that we don't know how Vick is going to play, just because he's been known to go down with an injury and screw things up. But I do think that it gives him a little bit more of an edge, just because of the fact that he does throw in that running factor, and he's a little bit more experienced than Geno in that case. He can actually read the play and run the ball if need be. Now, I've seen him play lately, and he still has the legs to actually run the ball. The only deal is he never learned how to fucking slide, so he's always throwing himself and putting himself in danger. Now, on the other side of the ball, we got Alex Smith. Now, you said it clearly. The team is going to rely a lot more on the run game, but Alex Smith is a time manager. He can actually manage the time a lot better than what people think. And I see that that's where they're going to be able to take the advantage. Now, for them to win the game, I don't see them winning that game by more than a touchdown. I mean, I think that this game is going to be pretty tight, as to which we can actually see some value on that plus 9.5.
I mean, that's not a bad. It's not a bad play. I mean, can you really trust the Jets? I mean, let's be honest. I want to trust the Jets because they have a pretty good defense other than their secondary, and I mean, that's going to play well for them into this game. But at the same time, I mean, let's be honest here. If we're ranking running backs on a scale from 1 to 10, and the Jets' run defense on a scale from 1 to 10, the Jets' run defense is probably a 9. Jamaal Charles is like a 12, man. So, I mean, I'll take Jamaal Charles against the Jets' run defense if you put a gun to my head and made me choose between those two. And if that's the case, I don't think I can take the points with the Jets.
No, man. I mean, I kind of see where you're going with this, and it's just the trust factor here. We never know what we're going to see from the Jets, and especially now that things have changed. But I do think that, the team is adding a little bit more of mysticism to the whole deal. They got Percy Harvin, they got Eric Decker, they got Chris Johnson, who hasn't done dick in the whole season, and they got Michael Vick now. I mean, Vick has the only factor that Vick has, which I believe is an advantage for the team, is that he's got the experience, he's got the time playing with the team, and he can still run the ball. That read option play, that should be something that might help them at least take a little bit of advantage in that case. Like I say, man, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Chiefs are going to win it, but I don't see them winning by more than a touchdown, man.
Okay, well, here, you make some good points, because obviously, they do have Percy Harvin and everything, but now that Vick's coming in, I mean, this is a whole new chemistry factor with him and Decker and him and Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin's been there less than 2 weeks. I mean, it's I can see it later down the road. I mean, if these two teams are playing in like week 14, let's say, I would be probably much more inclined to agree with you at these prices. But like with the quarterback change and Percy Harvin being a new piece coming in, who knows what kind of rapport that he's going to build with Vic, and then what Decker and the running backs and stuff are going to do. It's just a lot of unknown right now, and that could really lead to them struggling. And you could also see Michael Vick come in and fumble twice and throw an interception. So there's absolutely no way you're going to convince me to take points for the Jets in this game. I think it could be a good play. It's just not a play that I'm going to take sides on. I don't like either side of this line at all, like I said from the top.
Yeah, no, I see your points, man, and it's totally valid. It's just that, I kind of got that hunch. It's telling me, that the Jets could actually improve. Now, again, I might be totally wrong, and, like you said, Vic might come in, throw a couple of ducks and a couple of interceptions, and just fumble the ball and get hit in the ribs, and, that's it for him for the season. One game and one and done, right? But... it's just the whole deal that I do believe that the Jets, they could actually improve if they wanted to. And the way that they have been doing things obviously isn't the proper and the most orthodox way to do them. But, it's Rex Ryan. And, when has he been known to do things in the right way, and he's still been pulling out wins, even with Mark Sanchez playing, So I kind of believe that the Jets can actually pull off, not an upset, but at least keep the game close. At least that's the way I see it, man.
All right, I could definitely see it. I'll always say that I wouldn't recommend it, but Dax, if you're doing it, then people out there give it a try, because it's probably not. Like you said, if Vic comes in and has a good game, I mean they're going to cover, yeah, but I can't trust him myself.
All right, no problem, man. As always, Jordan, it's a pleasure talking sports with you, man, and I look forward to doing this again soon.
All right, thanks, Dax.
No problem. And for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.